Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. For this DIY I'm making a pelmet, and I'm going to be going in using a large piece of cardboard, and I'm going in by 3 centimeters, and then the pelmet size is going to be 10 centimeters, and then I've just drawn a design that I would like to use, and then I'm going to trace that out and then flip it over and do the same on the other side. And on this side my pelmet is 80 centimeters, so I've got an extra 10 centimeters and a 3 centimeter fold over. So I'm going to be cutting that all out. And I'm drawing the design on the reverse side because I'm going to be using a marker to go on the outside, and the marker doesn't react very well with paint. When you're cutting your design out and you're using a ruler, always put the ruler on the side to protect your work and cut on the opposite side. I'm just using an empty cutter to cut this, or a box cutter to cut my design out. I've got my design cut out, and now I'm going to be scoring all the lines. So that's going to be a fold over line, so that will be attached to the wall, and then I'm scoring. So it's 2 on the side, and then the center line and the back line. So we're going to score all those so we can fold them under. I'm just using a pair of scissors to do the score lines, to go through. Don't go all the way through because it's just for bending. Once you've got the lines scored, just place a ruler over it and then bend the cardboard. And then just squash it a little bit more to give it a sharper angle. To get the corner piece here to fold over, you're going to have to cut out a little 45-degree angle triangle over there. 45, so it's a 90-degree triangle, and we're going to cut along that line as well so that this piece can fold under. So your side piece should look like that, so that when you fold that under and you collapse this one in, you've got a nice neat square corner. And this back piece will go down as well because those are the tabs that you're going to be gluing or stapling it to the wall. And now just do the same on the other side. And now I'm going to be painting both sides of them white. On a spare piece of cardboard, I've taken my design and I've placed it down, and now I'm just going to trace around that. And then I'm going to be going in by 2 centimeters and making it all the way around and taking the sides in as well. I've taken my small little piece and I've divided it in half, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to be going along the ridge where I've marked. Just like that, and go all the way around. Now that the glue is dry, I'm just using some Christmas wrapping paper, and I'm going to be gluing it down onto there and covering it. So I'm going to be covering it by using the white side. I've trimmed the paper down, and now I'm going to be using this spray adhesive, and it's a contact glue, and I'm going to be spraying on both of them. And when it's a little bit tacky, then you glue them down. And then just press it down so you get the shape coming through. Like that. And then we're going to turn it over and glue it onto there. So you just have to trim it. So especially on the curves, so just trim little pieces like that. And then stick them on. And just do the whole thing like that. I've got it all glued down, and now I'm going to be using this gold spray paint and spraying the whole thing. I'm just doing a very light coat for the first coat. I'm just taking thin strips of paper and going around the edges of my little piece. I've got some little pieces that I want to put on, so I just made that, and then I've got some little acrylic roses like that, and I've got a piece of baking paper down, and I'm going to be drawing a design on the baking paper so I can make an onlay. You can draw whatever design that you want. I'm just doing a very plain, simple one, and then I'll open it out and see if I actually like it. So just something like that. So I've just copied the design onto the other side, and I think I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to cut that out on some cardboard. I'm just using some spray adhesive to glue my little piece onto the cardboard, and then I can cut it out. I've got my design cut out, and now I'm just going to be adding a little bit of detail to it. I've just added a wee bit of detail, so I've put like veins on the leaves, and that's where one of the roses are going, so I'm not putting anything there and there. And now I'm going to take my glue gun and just copy that pattern. Unfortunately, when you're working with glue, sometimes the glue just doesn't stay where you want it to stay, so you will end up with slightly different patterns. And now we've got a lot of little like spider webs, so all you do is take some masking tape and take it off with that. And you see it come off really, really nice and easy. I'm just going to glue on the roses, and then I'm going to be using this gold spray paint and spray painting my 3 pieces. I've cut my curtains to size, and I'm using champagne organza, so I'm going to be gluing gold bling onto it. Make sure when you're gluing that you've got your splits in the center and the hems on the right side so that they are ready to glue. I'm using this mesh ribbon, which is like a bling wrap. I've put baking paper underneath because I'm gluing onto a glass table, and make sure that you've got the greasy side or the wax side on this side so that when you glue it can peel off easily. And now we're just going to glue that down. When you're gluing your trim on, you must glue it onto the rhinestones, because if you glue directly onto the organza, because it's so fine, it will burn. When you're gluing it down, glue it in very small sections at a time. So I'm just doing those few at the top so I can secure it. I'm just gluing along each row of stones and then gluing that down. So as I said, in small sections at a time. And then just glue all of it on. And now I'm going to be taking 2 strands of my bling wrap, and I'm going to be gluing that next to the gold, like that. I've glued my little pelmet on. Unfortunately the footage was corrupt, so I couldn't use it. So what I did was I stapled and glued this piece on first, and then I glued it all together. And now I'm going to be putting the little onlay on top now. I'm using silicone and hot glue to glue this piece on because it's quite heavy. I've got this little Christmas decoration which I'm going to be gluing onto the centre of my piece up there. My little onlay is all glued in place, and now I can put the curtains up. I've got this 1 centimetre thick nylon rope which I'm going to be spray painting gold. I've just glued it to a piece of cardboard so that it's nice and straight, and then we can paint that. I'm using hot glue to glue this rope under the pelmet. I've glued the rope on, and now my little pelmet is completed, and I've put the curtains up as well. So that's my completed, finished window. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.